It's early June, and that means that the Hobby Lobby yarn clearance sale should be coming up soon. Last year, it hit my area on June 17th. Not all stores will mark things down at the same time, so it might be time to start watching the stores. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I've got some tips for you as we prepare for the Hobby Lobby annual yarn clearance. Number one, set yourself some limits. That might be the amount of money you have free to spend on yarn right now, or the amount of storage space you have at home to put that yarn in. Decide how much yarn you can bring home before you're in the store facing those clearance tags and giddy with all of the possibilities. Tip number two, learn from your past mistakes. I looked through my yarn stash last year before the clearance sale, and it was a good reminder that I don't like working with loosely twisted yarns, and variegated yarns don't work well for the projects that I prefer to knit. What you like may be totally different from what I like. Just decide what you are likely to knit with and what you are likely to enjoy knitting with, and maybe write it down so you can remind yourself when the sales hit. Tip number three, look at the projects that you are planning to make. If you are going to knit sweaters for yourself or your kids, or if you want to knit some shawls, or if you want to knit an afghan, do some research and figure out what yardage of different yarn weights you would need to make those projects. Write it down and bring it with you to the store, because when you find that yarn you love, it will be very helpful to know how much of that yarn you actually need for the projects you'd like to make with it. There are some charts out there showing how much yarn you need in different weights of yarn for different sizes of garments. Check those out if that is the type of knitting that you do, and that would be helpful to you. I do a lot of shawls and socks, so it's easier for me to keep those amounts in my head than it was when the kids were growing and I didn't know what size they were, let alone how many yards it would take to knit a sweater in that size. Tip number four, if you have the time, walk through the yarn section even though the clearance hasn't started yet. Get an idea of what yarns are on the shelves and which ones you are interested in. If there's something that looks good that you're not familiar with, jot down the name and go home and read some reviews, or maybe do a Google search and see what projects people have made with that yarn and how it looks. This was my strategy for 2021, and it worked really well for me. They had a lot of lightweight yarns that looked like they would be great for knitting shawls. So I walked through the store with my mother because she's got access to a Hobby Lobby that I don't. And it was really helpful to let her know what I was looking for if that was what went on sale. It turned out I hit the store at just the perfect time, so I was able to get everything I wanted at my local store. But if there had been a lot of bare shelves, at least I would have known what I had missed out on and if I thought it was worth driving to the Hobby Lobby in the next town over to see if they still had it. I filmed all of this yesterday, and there's a lot of gorgeous yarn this year. I'm just not sure if it's yarn that I need to spend a lot of time and gas money stocking. If I make it to the store when they have clearance yarn on the shelves, that's great. But I don't think I'm going to be quite as obsessive as I was last year and the year before that. I've got plenty of yarn I love that I look forward to knitting. There are a few things here that I would love to grab if they do go on clearance, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it if I don't get the timing right. Let me know, are you watching for the clearance sale to start? Do you have some great tips that I missed? If you do, please leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I will definitely have videos if I hit the clearance sale while there is yarn on the shelves. I've also been filming videos of the Hobby Lobby clearance yarn from previous years as I knit my way through it to let you know what I made and what I think of it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos soon.